It actually is really in line with what I think the future of music marketing is, right? Like, let's be real. Album sales might not be the best performing thing in the history of our careers.
True.
I think you probably sold more than me because you pushed your shit for sale more than I ever did. I gave my shit away free and heavy, but I have sold
I
very little.
had didn't I well yeah, I sold very little as well, but I don't think I've ever pushed for sales. The only time I did that recently is once I went onto Bandcamp and just I suggested, like, either way, it's accessible on Bandcamp, but it's also accessible everywhere else. And I also put it on Reverb Nation and SoundCloud. So I mean, you can listen to it for free if you want and download and everything. So it's not a big deal. Um, it's more about I want to know if people enjoy it. I want to know if you enjoy it, then just like anyone else, if you enjoy something that someone does, if you support them, it only helps them to make more of what you enjoy. So I
Mm.
understand where OnlyFans and Patreon is the same thing. It's more like, how do you say, it's an interconnected community of like, I like your music, so I'm gonna pay that. I'm gonna give you that $1 per month, maybe more, because I want to see you put out more stuff because I really like what you do. Vice versa, but say I'm a painter. You like my paintings. Yo, I love your work, man. I love watching you do your videos for how you make your paintings. So I'm gonna support you. If everyone did that, then the whole community would just support itself, and you would just have an interconnected web of self supporters, and you'd reach out to more and more fans. And to me, that is just like something I've been thinking about way back. How why don't we just work together instead of everyone competing with each other? Just help work together, and we just everyone lifts each other up, and you all
It's
have a
fucking
platform. You all
complicated.
benefit from it.
That's the
It is
quick answer.
complicated, but I mean, it is very complicated. But in the end, it's so beneficial to everyone involved that it just makes sense to put in the work and do it anyway.
I think people have to have aligned goals for that to work. And we all have very different goals. I think we get along because philosophically we have very aligned visions for shit and how we want to approach things. You and
Yeah,
I both value community in a similar kind of way. Other people might be more money centric. Other people might be more this centric.
yeah,
Other people, so sometimes motivations come up, but then there's also like, let's be real, a lot of us all want to be the person, be the one that's there leading the ship, being the guy that runs the team, right? So
yeah.
I think at a league level, you're right. All the teams need to work together. The problem is that when it comes down to making a team, it's like everybody wants to play the same position, and there's just too many people playing that position right now, and there's not enough people trying to. I'm not saying across the board. I'm saying that's kind of why my answer to your question is everyone wants to be in the same fucking position without necessarily a understanding what it takes, or b recognizing that not everybody can have those roles. Like you can like have everybody go live at the same time, but then who's watching who? You know, like if we're not even so the DJs are winning because there's a
True.
coordination happening, and actually the DJs are really proving your point. So take them. So I'm talking like Preach and Kobe has got one click that there's like 8 or 9 of them. They do these bangers and mash on Tuesdays. So literally from like 12, 10 in the morning straight up to like fucking midnight, they've got a schedule and they collectively rate each other and kind of keep the train of fans moving along. And then I saw Blasters is involved in a whole other one on Wednesdays, and I was just there vibing. Now what they're doing is creating a core fan base of people that want to come through. So it starts with each of the DJs bigging up each other, but they're already all
Mhm.
kind of doing the same thing and have their own teams in
Okay.
place. That's the thing is these guys already have their teams in place. They have their admins, access to their designers, access. So they're all like collectively the boss representations with organized cliques and units working together. What I notice is that there's not as many organized cliques and units to work together with on the side of what I've been anecdotally exposed to, or at least that I have not personally met or worked with, because I may be antisocial. And so for all this part of the conversation, trust that I know that I did not play nice with others for a very, very long time. And I'm learning how to like be like, a team player in the game. Okay, that's like this is but we then
Yeah.
like ask questions like how do we all work together, but like who really wants to do the interviews as an example? Look, like, why did it take so, like, who wants to do the album reviews and reactions? Who wants to play all the other alternative roles that need to get played to build up the scene when everybody wants to be MC frontman?
But that's why you find people who are strong in that area and you connect with them.
That's a hard
It's
thing.
I don't think it's about, it is hard. Yeah, it is. But I don't think it's about, I don't, in my, the way I see it is that I agree. You can't have a team of MCs because all the MCs are going to be want to be the MC. That's just the way it is because it's a competition. We want to get the praise. We want to get the accolades, and we want the other guys to get it as well. But after us, because we're better in our minds.
Big facts.
Or whatever it is.
No, you're being honest. Big facts.
So what I think is, like you were explaining, the team that you want to build is a team that excels in different areas, that cohesively builds this kind of kingdom. So you have the MC or the frontman or whatever it is, but you also have the interviewer. You also have the musician. You also have the engineer, but you also have the social media, head of social media, the A&R, whatever it is. You have all those areas filled, but not because you put them there. They were already doing their thing, doing it well, and they like what you do, so you work with them.
Big
and then
facts.
It goes around in a circle.
So here's
so
where
you all enjoy what each other does.
So you just brought up an amazing thing. Do you know what every other position realized? I can charge the rapper. And you know what happened? The rapper paid for a decade. How the fuck you, like, that's where we're at right now. That's the truth of it. If you're an engineer, you can make that money. If you're a video guy, you can make that money. If you're a social media consultant, you can make that money. And if you're a rapper, you're kind of sitting there going, shit.
Well, if that's the case, then it takes people who are willing to put in the work and not try to siphon money out of everyone because they know the money's going to come either way. It's about building a project. It's about building a future goal. In order to do that, you need to help each other and not siphon each other.
So I'm not like against what you're saying, but I want to challenge that because I think this is an interesting conversation because I talk to a lot of sides here, right? And I look at it like, the amount of like hours that goes into even what I'm doing is insanity. The money's coming in like years, right? So the problem with a lot of these statements is that like people are asking for like 3 to 4 years of sacrifice and then the money comes. And that's where a lot of people go, but bro, I got to eat. And then it's like a different reality. And I'm not trying to contradict you. I'm saying that if you were to go ask the engineer, you go ask the video guy, that's going to be, I got to eat too, dog. But here's the thing. They can just eat off their craft and they're living their best life already.
Yeah, I'm sure we could all eat off our craft. If we put in enough time and work and effort and branched out, we could all just do our own thing. Not have yes, obviously we have a career, but we could all do our own thing, be successful to a certain degree, and never have to work with anyone else other than out of necessity.